All right, let's get right into it. If you're the kind of person who loves taking things apart just to see exactly how they tick, well, you are definitely in the right place. In today's explainer, we're doing a real deep dive into language. Specifically, we're going to deconstruct a highly engineered 45-word paragraph. If you've ever been frustrated by getting some clunky, generic, robotic answer from an AI, this invisible structure we're about to look at is your antidote. Let's look at exactly how these words lock together to command a very specific result. Listen to the specific choices being made in this prompt. Act as a professional creative director with 20 years of experience in advertising. I want you to analyze the features of a standard notebook and brainstorm 5 unique ways to market it to students using AI tools. Don't give generic answers. Use deep psychological insights and creative storytelling. That right there is exactly 45 words. It takes what, maybe 10 seconds to read out loud? But as you'll see, this isn't just a sentence, it's a precise artifact, meticulously crafted to force a very specific type of output. Section 1, the prompt specimen. Okay, let's dive into this and stop looking at this short block of text as a casual request and start viewing it as a highly functional piece of machinery. We're going to break this whole thing down into 3 distinct functional layers. Step 1, establish the persona. Step 2, define the core objective. And step 3, apply quality constraints. Let's kick things off with step 1. Section 2, establishing the persona. Because, before we dictate the what or the how, we absolutely have to build the critical who. We can actually dissect the exact parameters directly from the text here. The role, professional creative director. Not a summer intern, not a junior graphic designer hoping to build their portfolio, a director. And the industry is advertising. This is crucial. This isn't fine art, it's commercial persuasion. By explicitly defining these elements, it anchors an immediate tone of authority and commercial viability right out of the gate.
But the persona doesn't just stop at a fancy job title. Consider this first crucial metric, 20 years of experience. This immediately forces a seasoned expert perspective. Think about it. Someone with 20 years in advertising has survived shifting trends, economic downturns, and probably countless brutal client pitches. They don't give novice answers. They deliver battle-tested, highly refined strategies.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is we immediately jump to the second quantitative metric in the text, the number 5. The text explicitly demands 5 unique ways. Now, why not just say, hey, give me some ideas? Because specifying exactly 5 outputs creates a strict, unyielding boundary. It forces the output to be comprehensive enough to actually provide options, but restrain enough that it doesn't just turn into an overwhelming diluted list. It literally commands focus. Moving to section 3, the core objective. So now that we have our 20-year ad veteran in the room with us, what exactly are we asking them to do? We're asking them to analyze a standard notebook. I absolutely love the intentional tension here. We just conjured up this elite advertising guru, and now we're pointing them at the most mundane object imaginable, a cheap spiral-bound notebook. But this is exactly where the magic of this text lies. It forces the output to find the extraordinary within the absolutely ordinary. Section 4, targets and tools. Okay, we know the who and we know the what. Now for the how. A really great instruction never leaves the execution up to chance. See how the source text specifically funnels the brainstorming process? First off, it strictly limits the target audience to students. We aren't marketing to corporate offices or artists, just students. Second, it mandates the mechanism, using AI tools. This beautifully narrow funnel completely prevents the AI from just rambling. It forces the veteran director to channel their expertise specifically into how a student would interact with AI regarding that simple notebook. Finally, section 5, the quality constraints. This final sentence is incredibly important because it acts as the ultimate quality filter and rulebook for the entire directive. And this brilliantly illustrates a stark contrast. The text actually anticipates the path of least resistance, those generic answers, and it flat out forbids them. Instead, it explicitly demands deep psychological insights and creative storytelling. It literally removes all guesswork about what a successful answer looks like, actively blocking that robotic fluff we are all so tired of reading. Let's just dwell on that specific phrase for a second. Use deep psychological insights and creative storytelling. Why use these exact words? Well, demanding psychological depth guarantees a high-level, human-centric final product. It forces the analysis to go way beyond, hey, this notebook has 100 pages, to ask the real questions. How does this notebook make a totally stressed student feel in the middle of a frantic midterm lecture? It elevates the entire output from a basic feature list into a genuinely compelling emotional narrative. Let's synthesize our entire teardown here. Step 1, the expert persona. That provides our authority. Step 2, the specific parameters. That gives us laser focus. And Step 3, the psychological constraints. That guarantees our depth. Combining these highly specific layers is the exact difference between just crossing your fingers for a good result and actually engineering one. So the core takeaway here is the hidden architecture of those 45 words. In highly effective communication, there are 0 throwaway sentences. Every single word in this directive was intentionally chosen. They were load-bearing. Every word was designed to shape, restrict, or elevate a specific result. The next time you're framing a problem or giving a directive, really think about the invisible architecture you're building. Which leaves us with one final, kind of wild thought. If an instruction is this incredibly detailed, literally dictating the persona, the constraints, the psychology, and the exact format, who is the real creator? Is it the entity generating the final words, or is it the architect who designed the 45-word blueprint? It's definitely something to ponder as you apply these lessons to your own workflows. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking those deep questions.